I'm Karen Das.
And I'm Dr. Visham Bhimull from Caribbean Hindustani.
Let's start off with the word Bhagwat.
So the word Bhagwat actually is a Trinidad Bhojpuri word. It comes from Sanskrit. As a child growing up, I know Bhagwat was you reading the Bhagwat, the Bhagwat Puran, right? So you realize the names are interchanges. So you go into Ramayana, you go into Satsang. They all come under the umbrella of Satsang. But a Bhagwat specifically is reading the Bhagwat Puran. Again, the word Bhagwat, Bhagwan, Bhagya comes from the same root. Bhagya means auspicious. Bhagwan means God, or the auspicious one. And a Bhagwat is the Bhagwat Puran, or the book that is about God, the divine. On this context is, I think, is specifically Lord Vishnu.
Ah, okay. Because most messages said prayer or reading of the Gita or Gita Path performed 3 times a day, sometimes 7 days or 9 days.
Right. I'm not 100% sure, but there's one that is to do 3 times for the day. I think that's the Bhagavad Puran, right? That has fallen out of vogue. I would have attended a few, but because of the context of modern day people and working, it's quite inconvenient. Long ago in the rural areas, when everybody was just in the estates, it was possible to do that Bhagavad 3 times a day. We go back to the wedding as well when they would have night weddings.
Yes.
So a lot have changed, and we have assumed a Christian ideology of our Hindu culture with regard to things like Sunday school, which I go in the temple on Sunday.
Yes.
But that wasn't the usual thing. Remember, to be a Hindu is a way of life. It's not a religion per se.
Yes. Let's go on to Trinidad Bhojpuri word, JORAY. This was an interesting word because some said to join or to connect, to pull together, and then others thought it meant to shake because I'll give you an example quickly. Someone said, I remember my grandmother would scold us when we would try to climb mango trees or chenet trees, and she would say, don't joray down the flowers or the young mangoes. And someone else made reference to being told to, when making a bed, to make sure and joray the sheets. And others said, well, it's really to join, as in you clasp your hands to pray, or if you were tying something together.
Jod Jagapani, that is Tulsi, right? Jod is to join, Pani is hands in Sanskrit. Yeah, that's a Tulsi, Ramcharitamanas reference. So I looked, so you see, in Caribbean Hindustani, what we do is try to look at the etymology of the words. A lot of times what my nanny would have said as a child, I didn't encounter it in modern Standard Hindi or even the references in Bhojpuri. And a lot of these words are quite archaic. I never heard my nanny use the word jore, right? But the word is jorna in Hindi, and you just drop the na and add a, so it becomes jore. It means to join. The word join and jod are cognates. You could see the similarities.
Okay, so one person, this one stood out for me. Tara says, if memory serves me right, I think it might mean to fix firewood, so they give enough heat. She explained that they cooked in a fireside long ago, and the word was used when firewood was almost burned, and to get the word lighting again, they would use that word, jore. Sudhir says yes, but he's in Fiji, so he said yes. He remembers his grandmother used to say lakri joro when she used to cook on the chulha.
Remember when you're cooking the fire, local expression, you choke the piece of wood, so you shake it like Manan used to do, right? I mean, it could be relevant. I'll probably look at it in the research, but I'll confirm if it is that it is to shake, because in all 3 references and contexts you give there, it meant to shake, whether it be a piece of wood, or fruit from a tree.
Right, yes, because the word jagajore came up quite often in a few of those comments.
Yeah, so we look at it.
Yeah, okay, good. Let's move on to the Trinidad Bhojpuri phrase. We caught a lot of people with this one. Many people confess that this was not familiar to them. They never really heard it. My KIRIYAA.
So my nanny used to say, "My kiriya go knock you down." Right? I go knock you down is English Creole. My kiriya is Hindi maa kasam. So kiriya comes from the spoken variety of that Magadhi Prakrit. So kiriya comes from kriya in Sanskrit, which means already completed action, past tense. I believe I'm not a Sanskritist, and it comes from the infinitive kru, to do, where you get karna in Hindi. So kiriya in this context now would have meant like a promise, a kasam, already done action. Like, kasa shrap, you can't change it. It's already been done. It's I swear by my mother, I'll hit you. Mm-hmm. My kiriya go knock you down. Mm-hmm. Obviously, she would have said something like, my kiriya, toke jhapar marab. That means the same thing in Trinidad Bhojpuri.
Okay, let's move on to another Trinidad Bhojpuri word, KASAILEE.
So I would have encountered this word from an old lady, the first interview I did, and she usually would clean the KASAILEE every day. So KASAILEE is a synonym for supari, and supari is a betel nut. So when they used to make pan for too long time, they would put the supari in the middle. They even offer it when they do puja now as a symbolic thing. So the betel seed, the betel nut, mm-hmm. which is KASAILEE.
And as usual, we wrap up the week with a Trinidad Bhojpuri food-related word, JAAMOON. Now, this was such an exciting conversation. It wasn't just question and answer. This was an actual conversation.
Okay.
So we went from Pomerak to Java plum. So I got gulab jamun, I got jamun, and I got gola jamun.
All right. And when I grew up, I heard all these words, gulab jamun. Now in India, gulab jamun is something different, right? Rasgulla is gulab jamun, and is vice versa. It's inverted here, right? Mm-hmm. Now, when I was a child, I would grow up by my grandparents at a pomerak tree, and we used to say jamun. I remember we would tell my nana, it have jamun in the tree. You could pick some for me. And so I know that usage, but when I did common entrance, right, I used to go for lessons next door, there was a jamun tree. And this is when I learned what the actual jamun is, so which is the Java plum, right? So it's a round or oval-shaped plum that's kind of purple. So when I used to go lessons, the tree was next door to lessons, and I used to go below the tree, and we used to pick and we used to eat. So that is what is jamun. I think that came from India. And the Jahaji bundles when they came on the ship.
It's sweet. And some people said it was sour.
No, it's sweet. I have eaten jamun, and then your teeth just get purple, pinkish.
Well, yes. Someone did tell me, though, that when they were little boys, they used to take that jamun and mix it with crush it, mix it with water, and use that as a beer for baka. Because
it's possible, but I think the uku, the uku.
Yes.
Right, I remember when I was in Hillview College, and it had uku or ruku, I can't remember. And somebody would have taken and put below your pants, and I said, I'm not seeing your pants red.
Yes.
I don't know if there's evidence, but I believe that more is to this part of the world where the Americans used to use. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, yes, but it would leave that stain of a kind of purplish juice. Mm-hmm. It look pink by the time you get the juice, and it will run down your cheeks and stuff. So, my grandparents, Nana, Nani, or Aja and Aji didn't have jamun trees. They had pomerak trees, and we call it jamun.
Yes.
It's only that, and I'm not sure, I only see them in a few places, so I don't think there are a lot of jamun trees in Trinidad as compared to pomerak trees.
No, there aren't. So there you have it, another week's worth of Trinidad Bhojpuri words and phrase. Till next week, I'm Karen Das.
And I'm Dr. Visham Bhimull from Caribbean Hindustani.
If you'd like to get in touch with Dr. Visham Bhimull, here's how you do so.
Yeah, so Caribbean Hindustani, which is on Facebook as well as YouTube, and then there's CaribbeanHindustani.org, all available online.
Great. Thank you very much, Dr. Visham Bhimull. This has been a KDC production in collaboration with Caribbean Hindustani. Stay tuned and be sure to catch up with more Trinidad Bhojpuri words and phrase.